So my idea, there's a thing called transcranial direct current stimulation.
Oh, you just know.
And they talked about it on a podcast called Radiolab. 9-volt Nirvana was the episode name. And basically you use a magnet or a battery, like a 9-volt battery, and you apply either a magnetic field or electric current to your skull at a certain point. And what it does is it increases or decreases brain activity in that region, and it can change how you think. And this is a real thing. It's not fake.
It sounds like it's fake.
I tried to create something like this before when I was a kid.
Why wouldn't everybody just be walking around with like 8 9-volt batteries just strapped all around their head at all times now?
You don't know how it's going to affect you.
They don't know if it's safe. They think it's safe.
So then why wouldn't there be people...
And they also, I saw an article about the U.S. military. They were testing this. And they took a woman who had never played like 3D video games and had never been in a combat situation. And they hooked her up to it. And within like 2 hours, she was beating like these military experts who've been playing it for years. Like it enabled her to learn it really fast and to excel in it. And it's a temporary effect. It only lasts for a few hours.
So you're stimulating the brain to produce better recognition skills, to gain experience in a shorter duration.
That's one of the things. It depends on what part of the brain they're doing. And it only works for parts of the brain that are close to the surface of the skull. They can't get like way down into the brain.
So they're not actually like putting wires in your head.
No,
they're holding, literally
it's
holding
all surface.
It's all surface. Okay. And so here's some of the things that they can do. They can relax people or eliminate depression temporarily. They can induce panic or overwhelming terror. They can make people smarter or learn faster. It can impair your sense of morality.
Hey, there you go.
Shut off your moral compass. It can make you see ghosts or have spiritual or out-of-body experiences. It can make you unable to talk. And it can mess with your short-term memory.
It sounds like a relationship.
Wait, what was that last one?
Prevent you from storing short-term memory.
No, okay.
So my idea is to...
Sorry, what was that last one?
I get it. So my idea is to have a button like morality, up, down, you know. And you'd be like able to control each of those 8 things. So this is like a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so now I've got...
And I would call it the red room. The room wouldn't be physically red. There's a phrase called seeing red, which is having like intense rage. So you put a person in a room with 1 or 2 people, maybe projector or something, to set up some scenario, cause people to have intense rage or fear, just for the entertainment of it. And so
it wouldn't be like a drama or like a serialized TV. It would be like a game show.
There would be no winner though. It'd just be to see what happens.
Let's fuck with this guy.
How intrusive would the helmet be? Would it be like very noticeable and...
They would know they were wearing a helmet.
Okay, gotcha.
There's just all sorts of interesting scenarios to just see what would happen. There's
Right.
a bunch of horror movies where there's like an evil little girl. Exorcist, I think, is one.
She's like really pale and like black goo comes out of her eyes.
And you'd make it maybe a little dark. You do the terror button and then you do the supernatural ghost button. And you just watch him freak out because he thinks the girl's like a little demon. You could take like a bickering married couple and you could like, when the woman says, "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" Like she's yelling at her husband. And then at that moment in time, you could shut off his language so he can't respond. People could try to challenge, "Oh, I'm not going to cry," and then you try to make him cry. Or so there's like a challenge aspect could be one of the things.
I feel like I'm not going to cry, and then you show me a cat video.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to cry.
Another scenario could be you give someone an axe. And they think there's somebody else in the room, but really it's a hologram projected from the ceiling. And then they try to stab the person with an axe, but then they're not there. And
How do you prevent them from hurting themselves?
One of the things it can do is relax people. So you could get it to where they're about to do something, and then boom, relax them.
Okay.
One of the other scenarios I'd like to do is you get these like holier than thou people, and you put them in there. and you just watch them just lose control and just try to beat people up and yell at people.
So get people to go completely against their nature, essentially.
But because a lot of people, they don't really believe in like mental illness per se, they don't.
So you want to strap this on the Scientologist, basically.
Right. Yes, that's exactly what we're looking for. The perfect study group would be those people who say these types of illnesses do not exist. That my mind is more powerful than anything. I think lots of times people can say like, "Oh, I would never do that," because they were never forced to be put into that situation. I think that could really mess with somebody though. Like if you think that you would never do something because you're like, this is the person
My moral code.
I would never do this, and then all of a sudden it's like you found out that no, you did do this under these circumstances. Now you're confronted with you don't know who you are. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now you're.
Sometimes that's a good thing, though. Sometimes it's good to find out.
You should watch
who
a show
you
called
really
The
are.
Black Mirror. It's kind of like a technologically enhanced Twilight Zone, and they pose a lot of these similar questions.
I'm not trying to ruin these people's lives, like.
Unless they're Scientologists.
So I'm not trying to break up their marriage.
They have
and,
no
like,
lives.
Make them do some outrageous thing they're going to regret forever, and then just send them on their way. So I have a way out of that. You can inhibit their short-term memory, and then for the
Total
episode
recall.
that airs, you would blur them out so they wouldn't know it was them who did it.
That's Total Recall.
I was thinking
You
of
described two Arnold Schwarzenegger. Your plan describes two Arnold Schwarzenegger movies: The Running Man and Total Recall.
I don't see how running.
Well, because it's a game show where bad things happen.
There's no game
Right.
show aspect.
Okay,
It's
a
just
televised event where bad things happen.
Yeah. Hence The Running Man.
Okay, so I have a couple more points. The show is mainly for fun, but it also could be good for society. For one, it's good for scientific research because they can see what actually happens when you do these things and they can study it. And the other thing is it'll help people understand what I was saying before about how the brain is like a machine and that it can go wrong. And even people who acknowledge that mental illness exists on an academic level, it might not really sink in at an emotional level, and that might help them understand the mentally ill more,
See it
to
instead of read the
actually
words.
see it and to see how people can change based on changes in the brain.
So we could essentially.
So I'm fucking with people and making them beat each other up, but it's good for society, is what I'm saying.
And it's good for mental illness.
Causing it?
So you have any comments?
Wouldn't also the same idea occur if you just gave them a hallucinogenic drug? Like you didn't really need that.
Sounds
there's
easier.
no
Sounds
control.
a
You could just
lot
give them
easier.
a hallucinogenic, and then
Yeah,
like,
but you can't
we're gonna
guarantee.
film this shit. And
You
like,
can't guarantee somebody's going to have a bad trip, though.
if you threw some images at them, you could pretty much
Yeah.
guarantee it. Yeah,
So on
a creepy little girl. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
If you're on a hallucinogenic, I thought you were basically in your head, and if you're seeing like dragons or
That doesn't really happen, dude. I mean, if you see fully formed corporal images during your trip, you have some of the best acid that I've ever fucking had. You have to be pretty out there to be able to get fully formed images. A lot of the stuff that you're going to see is walls bending, trees moving, sounds will start to, you'll see the vibrations, I mean, I used to be an enthusiast.
Do you have any like weird scenarios that you would want to test in the Red Room?
No,
That would be entertaining? Would you do it?
I mean, I would be a participant maybe to see, what I would or wouldn't do. But like manipulating people is scary to me, or watching people be manipulated. Like I'm really scared of people that don't realize how powerful they are when they can manipulate people. I have some family members who everything they do is Machiavellian, no matter what, like, it's all long game. They have a reason. They don't ever see you or talk to you unless, like, you can fit into their mechanization of their life somehow. So, like, manipulating people is a scary topic for me. But, like, I'd be a participant. I'd be a subject. I don't see any reason against that.
But it's not meant to be Machiavellian in like long term.
Well, it's not
just
meant to
messing
be.
with people
Well,
in a short.
well,
It
sure,
only lasts
but-
for a few hours.
yeah, but my most dramatic experiences in my life have only lasted 15 seconds. I mean, dramatic experiences don't take very long. They just stick with you, Tom.
But
You know,
again,
what is
not if
length?
your short-term memory is inhibited on purpose.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, in that scenario, I'd be willing to try. I wouldn't want to be the guy with the button. Let's put it that way. I'd be willing to be the guy in the helmet. I don't think I want to be the guy with the button.
I'd be worried you'd go into it and then you'd never come out of it. You know what I'm saying? You'd be stuck in it. Like you'd be stuck in it like a bad acid trip. You know?
Like you'd need those responses to achieve those.
Ooh, and now that becomes your like get off thing,
Right?
You know.
But like, I think one of the things maybe that they can't do is a sexual thing because that's like deep in the primal part of
Well,
the
no.
brain.
He said
he
said get off, and that's where your mind went. But like, let's imagine. Let's say, well, anyways. But like, all right, you said relaxing was one of the things, anti-anxiety, right? Yeah. So let's say they do that to you 6 or 7 times during taping, and all of a sudden now your brain only relaxes if you get that juice. Okay, like that's your mechanism now. Mm-hmm. Like you fry that part of their brain so they can only do that if they have this helmet. You know, like that'd be scary.
Well, the idea is that
it would be safer. I get it.
It's been proven to be not fry brains before they do the show.
I would like to if there was a helmet like that could allow you to operate in alternate realities.
So you would combine it with like a VR helmet and just So you would be in an alternate reality more.
Yeah.
Play out scenarios, see how you would respond under this stimulus with this.
Yeah. Actually, I think that'd make a great video game system.
Yeah, I guess if you already have the VR glasses on, you might as well put a little thing over their head with probes on it.
Yeah, and I could see that. I could see that immediately as a game system for wherever, for being in a forest and like taking on like everything.
Well, and even showing like talking about willpower, like doing the exact opposite of what the probe is telling you to do. Like you're in this game environment and you're being attacked, so you're supposed to be enraged, but they use the probe that makes you relaxed, and you have to fight through that stimulus. That'd be cool.
A lot of what training is getting you to maybe go against a primal response.
Right.
To training you, like for instance, like cops and firefighters or people in the military are trained to run towards danger instead of the human reaction of like, I'm getting the fuck out,
Right. Yep.
So.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention about it is that I have most of the parts right behind you. I have all this electronic stuff. And that
you're building one.
If I were to build one, would any of you try it? Would you be my guinea pig?
No. Sorry.
You literally just said you would.
I said I would do it if it was like a show. If it was a show and it was tested.
Just the stimulation aspect of it for like the front cortex. Yes.
Little peanut.
I wouldn't actually build one.
I'm comedian Tom Stoner.
I'm comedian Jeff Johnson.
And I'm comedian Paul Pipitone.
I'm your host, Tom Walma. This is Creativity Wasted.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give a review or rating on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or wherever you got it. I have a website, creativitywasted.com, and I also started a Patreon. So if you love the show, consider donating to Patreon. Thanks for listening.